My sophomore daughter is going to do my makeup with her makeup on one half of my face, and I'm going to use Science of Pretty on the other half, and we don't know why this is so funny, but stick around if you want to see this happen. Okay, what foundation are you going to use?
In shade 4.
Okay. All right, while she puts that on, I'm going to put on mine. And we're just going to see.
At the same time.
Okay, so they're about the same color. That one's a little more yellow and a little more dewy, and it's definitely a silicone.
Oh, that's my purple. It's right here. This is silicone? I thought it was water-based.
Well, I guess I'd have to check the ingredients. I assume it is just because it's so slippery. Okay, so after blending in, this is way more glowy and just a little bit more mattified, but about the same. So she said we're doing contour next, so that's what we're doing.
Okay, I'm using this, and she's using the
dark concealer from Science of Pretty.
I'm just like, I'm using this brush and kind of putting it on the heightened cheekbones and then on the forehead.
Yeah, and you do the dabbing and swiping where I'm using the Siren brush, so a little bit different, but same placement.
Yeah. I do more like...
pounding on my face.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a big difference there. This actually looks a little bit warmer to me, and this looks a little bit cooler. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. I think this is like more of a cream bronzer, and that's more of a cream contour. Like that one, like shadows more.
Yeah. All right, she's going to do a darker shade of concealer to do some highlighting, and then do you use a lighter one also?
Yes, okay. I do that later.
So to match hers, I'm going to mix a little bit of our light concealer with our dark to get a more warmed up shade.
And then on the forehead.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're gonna do some sculpting, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, mine's way different.
Okay, but it's fine.
Okay. All right. And what is the point of this? This is for shaping the face?
I use this to sharpen up the cream bronzer a little bit, and then also blend it, make sure the cream bronzer blends into the neck, because the Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit dark. So I use the shade of concealer to like
even it out a little bit.
Even it out. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I do kind of like the little chisel effect I get right there. I don't usually do that. I have before, but it's not my daily. Now it's the battle of the cream blushes. She's going to use this one. Show them the container. And you can get a list of these products. We're not really supposed to say the name of products that we're not working with, so that's why I'm just sticking to the Science of Pretty names, but you can email me for a list. And I'm going to use the Ugly Duckling blush. Where are you going to put yours?
Just on the heights of the cheekbones, just one dot.
Like, go ahead and put yours there, and I'll put mine. Okay. Just and then one dot.
I'd use the same brush that I use for almost everything else.
So that one is super creamy and a lot more of a bright pink. And this is kind of what I was going against when I made this, was that these don't last very long. So I wanted something that was going to really have durability throughout the day. And so ours is a much drier formula and able to buff to a shine and just not as silky and disappear-y.
Okay, now I use my lighter shade of concealer only under the eyes for the brightening effect under the eyes.
Okay, so I'm going to use...
Just right there and right there.
All right, so you're not doing the full 11s, you're doing right here?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't really pay too much attention on the placement because I just blend it the same way.
It kind of ends up everywhere?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just blend.
Okay. I also bring my concealer on the bridge of my nose.
On the bridge of the nose, or just down the sidewall?
Like the
bottom of the sidewall?
Yeah. To like contour it a little bit.
Okay, so I don't usually take my concealer out here, but we'll just do the same just for comparison's sake. And I am pulling mine down just a little bit further. Yeah, look out there, girl. Okay, how are we doing?
Good.
All right. What's next, boss?
Okay, now I do powder.
Okay, now look at this crazy contraption of a powder that she has. Look at the packaging on that sucker. That is what you paid for. Well, it's what I paid for. Let's compare these two, shall we? Okay, there's definitely a lot more product in there, but I feel like I buy that all the time. So you're going through it really fast.
I just put it on my powder puff, and then I use the back of my hand to push it into the powder puff. And then first I go back onto the side of the nose and then drag it out. And then also kind of just in the T-zone. So forehead. And then I kind of leave everywhere else like glowy.
Okay. And you have to take a shower after you do this because you've used your body to absorb all the excess powder that I paid for. Okay. All right. Now she does powder bronzer, and that is very bronze. Okay.
It's very loved.
Yeah, it looks loved.
I like to be orange.
Why? Why orange?
Because I look like I just got back from living at the beach for 10 years.
Yep, that's what I keep trying to tell people, is not to be afraid of orange. It is a very healthy color. Not, too orange is too orange, but there's definitely something to looking like you've been in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's going to use a powder blush, and I do not have a powder blush because my blush is so durable, but this is what she's going to have to do to set the cream blush that she used. And it is a pretty color. I do like it. Sometimes I go in her room and steal her blushes.
Normally, I do a lot more than that, obviously.
Yeah, you are a blush
I love blush.
Goddess. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of my cream blush just to balance it out a little bit more. And I'm just going to take and do the outside edges. That way I look like I have a matching both sides of my face. And I bet no one will even notice. I could probably go throughout the whole day wearing this like this, and I doubt anybody would notice. I can tell the difference. Tell me in the comments if you can see the differences and what you notice first. Okay, this is no diss on your makeup because, you're only a teenager, but I can see the crinkling and the powder and the concealer like set up in the corner here. And I don't see that on my side. Do you see that?
No, but it works for me.
Yeah, it does. It works for her, and that's the deal.
Yeah.
Science of Pretty is for mature skin. But when I did your prom makeup, what did I use?
It is Science of Pretty, and it looked wonderful.
She's scared to do my brows.
Because I normally just put brow gel on mine.
Well, your brows are very different than mine because you didn't live through the 90s.
Because I have brow blindness, and I think that they look good when they're huge. They look like caterpillars.
So she's going to brow gel my brows.
For the sake of the video, I'm going to just use brow gel, and she's going to do her normal brow routine.
But we use the same brow gel because she steals it from me all the time.
Why are you?
Yes, you steal my brow gel all the time.
All the time. I put it all through my brows and then kind of laminate them.
Yeah, I don't know how you get yours to stick so far down to your head.
I push it. Okay, let me just show y'all. So I put the brow gel and I squeeze it and then put more so that a lot of it is on here. And then I go in the opposite direction and then I swoop them up with this. But since this is really small,
that's what I do too.
I use the spoolie on my brow. That's not the spoolie. I use the spoolie on my brow gel. Pencil.
Yeah.
And I
because all spoolies are not created equally, right?
Yeah. This one is I like that it's
tight.
Small. Yeah. Yeah. And then I push them up and then I go in with this side. As you can see, it's there's brow gel over it, but I push them up.
Oh, with the cap on.
Yeah. And then I literally just
press
go
them to your
press
face.
them
Okay, do that to my brows and we'll see if I can tell.
It just makes them go up more.
Yeah, it kind of does. I've never done the pressing of the brows to my face except when I've used lash adhesive as brow gel when I was out and I couldn't find it.
Lash adhesive?
Yeah, it works really well. It just, you can't use too much. So I'm going to try what she just did and use extra gel. Go backwards and forwards like I normally do. Brush them up and then take her. Okay, I totally see a difference. It's like laminating them. Huh. Who knew? So you don't really wear eye makeup, do you?
No. I put
mascara?
I drag my foundation onto my eyelids and then drag my bronzer sometimes, but
I'm going to use her pencil on this one. She's too afraid to do my brows. And then I'm going to use the Science of Pretty brow, blonde brow powder on my side. You want to tell us why you're not in school today?
Well, it's senior skip day, so no one was there. And I walked into class and we were doing a crossword puzzle. So I wanted to leave, so I left.
All right. What do you think of the difference? Everything I used is linked in my TikTok shop.